preceding your birth, potentially. I don't know when Jaws came out.
Oh, what, the film or like the actual animal, the shark?
The film. The animal came out a while ago.
I was going to say, also...
The Megalodon's been around for a while.
Sharks don't own copyright on themselves, unfortunately for me. Right, AT are on the offense.
Week. Who would win?
Not me. Eternal Academy are on the defense.
Angry Titans going to be rolling out with that classic 3-3 we mentioned. Eternal Academy on the defense, exactly the same thing. Going to once again be just seeing who will win out. Already Tri-Spear hitting a nice little right-click volley, doing a bit of damage to Lulsish and building himself a little bit of extra charge towards that Transcendence. Aafox at half health will start regaining that due to the passive regeneration of shield. As Angry Titans make their beeline for the point and go straight onto Aafox.
Someone boots Aafox right into that small room. Lulsish taking a whole bunch of damage. Now Tri-Spear for some nice aerial superiority with the Zenyatta. Lulsish is already dead at this point, and Angry Titans are going to be able to move to this to the point itself, but they're going to have to wait for Lulsish to actually get back, and they do manage to secure at least one tick. Maybe they go for a big escape. Spectral is going to fall as well. That does mean Eternal Academy should be able to win out the rest of this fight. No Zai and no Ryan. It's pretty bad news for 3-3.
I don't know how this could be allowed there for Angry Titans to reclaim a tick.
Kenzie is in the Kenzie was actually in the middle of AT. Lulsish actually caught him on the wraparound, but at least Super Fluke coming to the rescue, managed to take out Fat and Lulsish. Self-destruct, in fact, from Chow to find the remake.
This is absolutely disgustingly messy. How did Angry Titans manage to get a tick there when Eternal Academy already had 2 picks? I don't understand how this happened. Eternal Academy also had to expend themselves an Earth Shatter and a self-destruct to win a fight where they were 6v4. Not ideal, but of course, Kenzie, Tri-Spear, and Zeal will soon be ready to come in with their own ultimates. Angry Titans yet to generate a single one. Aafox is going to be the closest. They move on to a point, see if they get another free tick.
Big rally.
Big boot.
Yeah, Lulsish going extremely ordinarily low already. Transcendence comes out. Hey, look at that. Kenzie's got a grab. It's perfect timing. He throws it out. Manages to catch Lulsish and a couple others who jump in it as well. Might as well join him as you get sent back to spawn. Kenzie with a parting gift of a right click does manage to kill off Spat and Spectral. No tick was acquired. Only just, in fact. 56% at least. AT are going to be able to go again. However, half the time bank has disappeared. But they've got a couple ults to work with. But cyclical ult generation, Harry. Super Fluke has the Shatter. They got a couple of support ults as well.
Yeah, Ascot and Tri-Spear, Sound Barrier and Transcendence available does mean they can employ a whole amount of preservative ultimates to try and keep them safe against the incoming machinations of Angry Titans. Already the aggression coming through. Lulsish falling low. There's the bash.
Big Earth Shatter as well. 3 people have been sent to the ground. The Transcendence is going to help them survive for the moment, but Zeal does manage to get pinned. Lulsish at least finding 1 kill. Beat from Eternal Academy, though, only lands on 2 people. Chow is going to get knocked out of the mech and off of the point, as Angry Titans now finally gaining control. Chow's Baby Diva form didn't last all too long and needed his Super Fluke, who was trying to buy some more time. Nice couple of nicely placed right clicks from Spectral does end the fight, and they finally managed to cap. An extra 4 minutes will be added, and about 5 minutes-ish.
Got to give Chow some credit as a tank player, though. Getting a body block in there for Kenzie, keeping him alive for just a little bit longer. But now Kenzie and Spectral once again an equal ultimate charge towards those Graviton Surge. A great attempt at a defensive Earth Shatter from Super Fluke did almost keep his team in the fight. The follow-through was just too strong. Angry Titans already putting themselves straight on the point. Don't want to mess around with any choke points as Lulsish gets ready to drop the hammer.
Lulsish dicing with death right now. Super Fluke going extremely low, but that self-destruct's only going to knock Aafox into the rest of his team. The Transcendence is healing everybody up on the point. Second tick has been acquired, and a big shatter on the back line. Askov's going to go down, same with Kenzie. Lulsish just walked around everybody from Eternal Academy. Super Fluke had no idea what was going on. They get grab off the point as well. AT managed to find the wraparound. First point might not have been quick, but second point definitely was.
Far cleaner right there, making up for lost time. Angry Titans gaining themselves 29 seconds, not even using up all of that time bank. 3 minutes and 31 attack all in all. Took their time with the first point, but of course giving away that first tick there, especially on that first point, I think Eternal Academy could have been a little bit more disciplined when it came to that objective play and maybe allowed themselves a little bit more time to rotate in and out in that final fight, because when you give away that tick, it gives you like a little bit less leeway as to when you have to engage, otherwise you lose the point. And that's one of the ways that you can grind down the assault points on these 2 capture point maps. Eternal Academy, though, they are now going to have their own chance to attack. We'll have to see if they want to bring out something a little different. But I wouldn't be surprised if we just saw more 3-3 here. Angry Titans actually popularized a lot of quad tank compositions on assault by running things like quad tank just barreling down the middle and forcing people to fight against them in these sort of like close quarters combat situations when a lot of teams were not prepared for that quad tank.
Every time doing something a little bit different. This is what I want to see. I want to see Spectral on the Ashe. I love his Widowmaker. His Ashe is going to be equally as deadly. Urki on the Bastion, though.
Spectral Bob, pretty good.
Also a Spectral Bob,
I heard he never misses.
No, never does. Unbelievable tracking on that lad.
Fastest shot in the West.
Yep. Urki as well. Oh, this is going to be so punishing to run into. They can kind of set up a crossfire in this instance too. I mean, you jump for Urki, that's fine. Spectral's going to be on the other side. He can throw Dynamite in, which is a whole bunch of damage. Plus, of course, you have Mercy damage boost as well.
Spectral also has this coach gun, not only to be able to use for repositioning, but can peel for AFOLs by making sure anyone diving towards him can be thrown out in another direction. Does look like Eternal Academy have spotted out what Angry Titans are running off to see if they make any different swaps. Doesn't look like they will be going over towards a more dive-oriented composition
Classic
right now. Zeal on the Genji will be looking to hop around Urki, use those Shuriken fans on the right click for a higher rate of fire and better close-range damage by putting all three at once into Urki.
Playing a little Ashe on my Smurf as well has been pretty fun. That Coach Con can be quite a menace, honestly. People don't really expect being blown away by it. You can sometimes get a nice couple of kills down wells and other pits, of course, that cause instant death.
You heard it here first, folks. Jorsus the Ashe Smurf ruining your comp games.
It's not quite ruining. It's got a good win rate, though, and I'm actually quite impressed with myself, to be honest. Urki, though, is going to have to be a little bit more careful as Danks are going to roundabout on him, but he's receiving all the healing he really needs. In fact, that Bio Grenade just making sure he's pretty much invincible. Tri-Spear can't really land a nade in that situation either. That curved shield from the Orisa just prevents anything from actually landing straight on top of it.
Yeah, it does allow for a great bit of overhead shielding as well. You can see there is a tiny little backboard available thanks to the side of that particular capsule of Uluna Conley, which could allow for some splash damage. But very tricky to hit that, and of course Tri-Spear would need to potentially line that up. Cannot stay in the line of sight of Urki for very long at all. Spectral, of course, throwing out that bullets. He's checking around for the Sombra. Does not know where Kenzie is at the moment. Of course, Kenzie can pressure the point and try and force a rotation out of Angry Titans. It'll be Emil, the first port of call.
Jones, he takes a little bit of damage. They're just going to escort themselves beneath Urki right now. They are going to be able to touch the point with Kenzie, like you just mentioned, but now Askov was so close to dying. Oh my goodness. You do not want to be there. Tri-Spear and Askov, by the way, aren't actually in the fight. They can't actually heal their tanks unless they maneuver themselves around this shield. Urki finding Super Luke as well as Zeal going down to a Dynamite is disaster for Eternal Academy. Kenzie is nowhere really near the CMP either. He's 50% and they have 2 minutes to go. They have this since, what? 4 minutes and 50 seconds?
Yeah, this is not looking great. Half a time bank of Eternal Academy has drained away, has their health pools under the minigun attentions of Urki. Kenzie right now, he's not focusing on getting some poking onto Emil or onto any other members of Angry Titans, it seems. Zeal going to use that defect rather early. It's covered up by the defensive matrix. A miscommunication there from Eternal Academy could prove fatal.
Okay, they almost have Nano Blade. They're at 5% off that blade, 8% off of that actual Nano. Tank form's going to come in from Urki as he lanes down some long-range fire. That's a Bio Grenade actually onto Chow. He's going to get demected if he's not careful. He runs straight into Super Luke, who ends up going down. A self-destruct did land onto the point. Chow's going to find the remake, but a Nano Blade is coming through from Zeal. He's found Spectral already, and he manages to get himself on the point. Dashes away from the Bastion and manages to catch Avox. This is the 2 picks that they really needed.
Haven't expended many ultimates here on the side of Angry Titans. Too many of them are dead to do so. Urki going to try and get away. A repositioning of the shield will not keep him protected at this moment.
He's still alive, more importantly, and he's getting healed. A bomb is going to get launched out, but Logs is dead. Now no shield for Urki to cower behind. Spectral's going to come back with Bob to provide some additional protection, but Emil's mech is already dead.
This is great for Zeal continuing to build up towards that. Bob's here, but he's not contesting.
This is a good situation. Spectral's actually killed 2 of the supports already. He isn't contesting and he gets hacked up. Are they going to go for this re-engage? I don't think so. Avox is going to at least try and do something, but just sacrifices himself to the ult bank of Eternal Academy. They're going to be able to attack next point now. 4 minutes left on the time bank, but they have the EMP.
Zeal is incredibly ready to use that the Dragon Blade, not Nano Blade this time. I'm too used to calling it Nano Blade, Jaws. You see them combined so often. Tri-Spear so far away from the Nano. Don't want to give Angry Titans a chance to build up a defensive ultimate, I imagine, but they are going to keep the Bastion here because they do have the Supercharger ready to go. When Bastion has that Supercharger attached to him, he does a lot of damage, about 675 damage per second.
EMP though. Oh, there it is. Straight on top of the shield. Instantly gets taken out though.
Big Nancy.
That Bio Grenade's going to land on top. Slice and dice and trying to find Lolsish. Manages to catch him just before he goes into the spawn. He's going to jump over. He's going to find Avox, but can he get him? I don't think so. Nano Blades, not quite there. It means you can't get really the instantaneous dash and the burst damage coming through. And Nano's going to come on him anyway, but he gets instantly slept. Winston, although Lulsish, was just firing randomly, so did end up waking him up, but 2 ticks have already been acquired. The Bongo has been used as well as Urki has that tank form, but can they actually get onto the point? Lulsish is going to go down, but they're still getting the effects from the supercharger as Zeal falls. A good trade thus far from AT, who are still in this fight. Bob also gets flung out onto the point. Eternal Academy potentially want to go for a reset here. They know they can't really win, especially with the lack of heals they now have.
Beautiful sleep there from AFox onto Zeal. Thought he may have got a drop on them there with that nano-boosted vanilla Genji. Fortunately, got put to bed. Nap time was in session in this particular. Needed that Rooster call himself to wake up. Angry Titans certainly seem to have done so. Looking like they may actually swap up their composition here. Spectral's going back to spawn. No longer has that Bob. Is in fact going to go over onto the Tracer. Can be vulnerable to Kenzie's hacks here. That would make him incredibly vulnerable.
There he is.
Kenzie gets caught out.
Yeah, instantly. Has to use that translocator to get away. Did go fairly low. Spectral 2 though. He's on Tracer. Kind of hard target to hit if you're the Sombra, although 60 rounds in their SMG. Spray and pray some of the time. Hit a couple of headshots and you're all good.
They're not needing to reload a huge amount. Shower's going to try and pressure out Lulsish here. Does a huge amount of damage to those Winstons with the large hitboxes.
Oh, he's going to get caught out. He actually gets booped up. Lulsish tried to use the jump there, but got booped up into the doorway, signaling the end of his life. EMP's going to come through as well. Catches 3 people with a blade. It was also from Zeal to try and slice in. He manages to catch Fat and Skull reset, but where's he go? Right behind him was AFox. What are you doing there? You've got to run away from the Genji. They have 2 ticks, remember, and a beat is going to come through from Eternal Academy.
Super Luke has been lost, though. He needs to stay on point. Doesn't like anyone's there. It's going to be Lulsish and Spectral's return.
Spectral's going to come back, and he has the Pulse Bomb. Does throw it out, but doesn't find anything. Chao's doing a whole bunch of damage now as he gets nanoed as well. A ball's going to come through and eventually signal round 2 being over as they manage to cap the 3rd tick. Angry Titans do manage to deplete the time bank a fair amount, but that Bastion at the very end, very reluctant to actually switch off that hero, and it was really the EMP that sealed the deal.
I think Chalva actually got healed up from a damage of an attached Pulse Bomb with the Nano Boost, potentially. Because, of course, that does do a 300 burst heal in our current patch anyway. To move on to live patch, that will be reduced to 250 to make it a little bit less tempting to nano those big tanky targets and keep them in a very healthy state. Of course, it does give you 50% damage reduction as well, which makes D.Va's capacity to brawl even greater. Eternal Academy, however, a far less healthy time bank than Angry Titans at this juncture, and Angry Titans are pretty happy to roll out once again with this composition, which stumped Eternal Academy for a significant amount of time on first point. They had to wait for the fight to break down to really get a huge amount of value out of that. Not only that, didn't feel like they got a huge amount of value out of the Sombra that you'd usually see. Kenzie was consistently, I think, what made him a little bit less effective was that he was consistently moving out of stealth in the primary window to the point. And that meant that the second he came out of stealth, Urki could turn around and just spray him with bullets. And while he could get away, he'd never fall over to that. He was losing so much health to that.
And how do you set it up as this comp? Because you've got 2 DPS heroes that are almost kind of reliant, especially against the comp that Angry Titans are running on ultimates. Have to hit a big EMP, or you wait for that Nano Blade to jump in, and then you can finally find a few kills. That damage resistance plus the damage boost from the Nano Boost does help Genji almost instantly kill targets, especially if he gets the slash and the dash combo at the same time. But it just took them so long to build up to that. It took them almost 2 minutes to get that EMP online, and it was only actually ready after the second point.
Caught out here, doesn't have a translocator, didn't set it up early. Kenzie, you weren't expecting Spectral to turn you into a Spectre. Eternal Academy, more of that precious time, is going to drain away down the plug hole.
1 minute, Harry. They've got 1 minute and 15 seconds. Zeal's going to go down, which means they have to go for the big reset. He's got 44% of the play, but look at the whole bank for Eternal Academy. They got nothing apart from that.
Spectral going to keep ticking
There's
up.
2 tanks like in the backline too. I mean, you just managed to get out, but Chao's mech's now destroyed. They're going to be able to stagger Chao a little bit more now, who has to now regain back control of his mech. Spectral can hear the Sombra in the back lines. You can see Kenzie, just the outline of him through that wall. Beautiful pick onto Chao. Delays Eternal Academy now even further.
And Kenzie, it's so rare that he actually gets caught out by an Ashe. You've got to think about Ashe, slow rate of fire, doesn't want to reload very often, because of course it takes a long time with that single bullet action reload. Very hard to catch out the Sombra. You're usually relying on someone like Emil to do that. Kenzie cannot afford to be caught out in these cases. Spectral almost has that Bob ready to go, of course. Will be vulnerable to both sleeps and hacks. The tanks of Eternal Academy going to rush into that cover. They can potentially get a little bit of extra damage onto the point here.
Okay, they decide they want to go onto the point. The Bob's going to instantly meet them. However, he does get hacked, so he's not going to do any damage at all. Spectral goes extremely low. Fat's going to be at his back, however, and just left, actually, Urki just high and dry, really, in no man's land, but Fat still managed to get the rares as Zeal does end up falling, and now the time's ticking away. Someone has to touch, but Spectral has the high ground now. There's no way you can get to him. A bio grenade's going to seal the deal as AFox manages to plink Super Fluke. They don't even manage to get a tick. Angry Titans, they're going to nano the Bastion at the very end. But right now, they are looking at a minimum of a draw. They have to cap this point, however, in the time that they're allotted, or Eternal Academy will end up securing the series.
That Jaws. 33% is what they require to keep themselves in this series and start on the path to the reverse sweep they so desperately desire to gain that 5-0 desirable scoreline. Eternal Academy, if they can defend this for 4 minutes and 29 seconds and not give up a tick, they will win the series as Angry Titans. The best scoreline they will be able to achieve will be a 2-1 if they can take Junkertown. So here, we've got to think long haul, and when you think long haul, you're usually going to be thinking about a 3-3, I imagine, Jaws, where you keep getting that cyclical ult generation, keeping you going, but you only need to win 1 point. So I would not be surprised here if Angry Titans decide to go for a 3-2-1 with 2 tanks, 3 supports, and maybe a Sombra coming out from Urki or Lolsish. From Lolsish? No, from Urki or Spectral, potentially Emil.
Could be. They just need 1 fight. That's all that they need. All that they need. And in this situation, too, you can imagine they're going to run out with the same thing. I mean, are they going to throw anything out of left field? I mean, again, it's very much a case of peeking your head around, seeing what they've got, and then just retreating and then finding a composition that suits you best, because you have 4 minutes and 29 seconds. That's a lot more time than what was given to actually Eternal Academy in the last round.
Yeah, I'll have to see if they will be using that time effectively. Angry Titans are going to be rolling out, of course, with the 3-3. I'm sad we're not seeing a little bit more of a 3-2-1 with the Sombra here, Jaws. We do see it quite a bit in Korea. It's very popular over there. Not so much here in Europe. A bit more 3-3 purist when it comes to bringing out the 3-tank, 3-support composition.
Super Fluke just meets everybody with a hammer. See, that one swing was granted him 40%. Yikes. AT are going to find themselves on the point now, and now it's up to Eternal Academy to actually touch. They're a couple of percentage points away from actually just claiming the map and keeping themselves alive in the series. Super Fluke's going to go down. Zeal's going to fall too. Emil finds 2 kills in the fight. Charles Meg's dead, almost. He ends up falling there. Emil's just going to be able to regroup with the rest of his team. Tri-Spear's gone. That was it, all over and done in the blink of an eye. AT keep themselves in the series, finding Horizon Lunar Colony.
And the second you give away that much capture percentage, even towards the first tick, you just give away any potential you have as a team to disengage away from a fight, because any of those seconds that you would have bought, you gave away for free. So I'm not a fan of how sheepish the defense was there. They could have just stepped on the point. They've got 3 tanks and 3 supports. You can survive just having 1 person nipping in and out to keep that from going up, but because they gave away so much, where do we go? We can't go anywhere. We've got to stay on the point forever now because we're just so close to losing it.
It was the fast rotation from AT. They knew what they wanted to do. You make Eternal Academy come to you, we can set up in a way better position. We can play that corner, which is exactly what Lolsish did. Didn't matter that Super Fluke got hold that damage down early on and got 40% ult charge. When you're having to advance on the point, you're putting yourself in danger. It's exactly what happened. AT, however, still in the danger zone. They could still lose this next map. Junkertown will be it. We'll have to wait and see, though, after this break. Hey guys, welcome back. Eternal Academy versus Angry Titans. We've got Junkertown coming up of our next map, and Eternal Academy still clinching.
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing. Clinching at this.
They're still grasping.
Holding themselves together like I am right now to keep themselves out of the relegation zone. They are still one map away from actually securing the series and knocking that perfect record that AT currently holds.
They're going to be grasping for that quick series win, 3-1. Do not want to be going to that 5th map against Angry Titans, but of course they did win our previous control map of Oasis, so maybe they do have a little bit of an advantage there. Who knows? But when it comes to advantages on Junkertown, I think about people who can go for a little bit of a long-range snipe, and when I think about long-range and sniping, it's got to be Spectral who comes to mind. He showed us a great Ash, got to use the same flick shot mechanics that you usually have to use on a Widowmaker, so I think we could see that come out.
Or a McCree, of course, as well.
Yeah, we saw that on Oasis City Center to try and deal with Zeal's Thara, and you've got to bring out a response when you see Zeal's Thara, because you just will not survive long enough, because Zeal just hits way too many direct rockets, builds up that barrage incredibly quickly, and it's just a nightmare to try and deal with.
Of course, Thara was changed a few patches ago too, dealing more direct damage, less splash damage, but if you're more direct with the rockets, you get more ult charge, and more ult charge means more ults, which means easier team fights, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, and when we talk about Thara changing with patches, she's now been changed back from a new live patch, so
yeah.
So after we swap over patches for playoffs, she will once again be just as viable against 3-3 because she gets a lot more splash damage, which means that when people are clustered together, like usually would be in a 3-3 composition, she deals a huge amount of damage.
Yeah, pretty exciting patch in all honesty. It does open up a lot of
It's one of the largest patches we've ever seen.
Yeah. Almost like Overwatch 2.0-esque.
Overwatch 2, baby. We're here.
Of course, the same old. It's all good. Same old for Eternal Academy as well. Angry Titans, though. Yeah, Spectre's going to run Bastion just to make sure there's no shenanigans.
You can't step in front of his cart, which is going to do too much damage to you. There's a lot of pressure onto the cart. Askoff's already down. Might not even be able to try and bring themselves out here. Jaws cannot get that disengage.
I think Angry Titans actually just want to run this straight up. Tri-Spit's going to go down as well. A-Fox with a triple kill, by the way. Spectre's going to fall, yes, but of course he is so close to his spawn. Amir's going to find a couple as well. Which angles do you look at this current point? AT have got 4 DPS, on the field. Eternal Academy switching up their comp. They're going for the 3-3 with the Sombra.
A-Fox definitely building up that resume. If he wants to try and join the team as a projectile DPS, potentially change roles on Angry Titans at some point. Eternal Academy not going for the regular hit scan to try and counter out Urkia. Instead, we're going to try and combine Zeal and Tri-Spear's damage.
Look at his ult! He's 95% already. Chow's going to try and duel him in the air, but of course he has Fat at his back. Chow's mech gets instantly destroyed, and now they're all cowered in a room. You got to be careful. They must know he has Barrage at this point. Spectral and Lolsish are still maneuvering this cart. Spectral's going to find 3 kills. No rocket barrage needed. In fact, he wasn't even on the cart. That's 5, in fact, as Chow ends up going down. Also, give him the 6. Not quite. Kenzie falls to A-Fox, but he wasn't actually on the payload. I only just noticed he was actually on one of the cars at the back. It's like, okay, pay attention to me. Me, Farah, or Lolsish actually pushing the payload. You make your choice.
I don't know, dude. There's just too many angles to play with. I said that Angry Titans need a little bit of magic to try and get this reverse sweep going. It's apparently Eternal Academy for all muggles. They don't know about the Omnic magic that Spectral can bring out with this Bastion. Once again, the second he gets dived upon, ready to move away with a far more mobile tank form, which maintains the damage reduction that you usually see from the what in the world?
Beautiful tracking. Oh, Kenzie gets booped back up. Chow is going to try and duel once again. Urki in the air.
360 drop down.
Oh, I don't know about that one. Zeal is going to at least find a 1 kill, and actually building up to an EMP is going to be fairly important. They're holding in the low ground. An EMP does land on 4 people. Kenzie is grounded as the rocket thrusters end up going away, and Zeal and Kenzie are able to clean up eventually. Lolsish has got Supercharger, but he's just going to hopefully die ASAP. He's trying to dodge around the shield. A-Fox manages to make his way back, but Angry Titans, they built up such an ult bank after that as well.
Tri-Spear returning there to the fight, does now have Coalescence ready, maybe a little bit too much messing around there. Spectral with the 360 drop down may not have been the optimal play, could have used that tank form to get a little bit more burst damage onto a few targets. But now Angry Titans coming in with 3 ultimates, with the exception of a Riptide from A-Fox, may find themselves in a great position for EMP.
It's pretty big, 4 people in course. Super Fluke also grounded. Couldn't use those thrusters to get away. That was a free barrage, really. A Gravity Surge is actually thrown in by Kenzie, trying to grasp some sort of semblance of a team fight, but he's going to get quickly taken care of. Zeal doing a good job of building up towards another EMP in the midst of that 50%, but now Angry Titans, they've got a whole field to really work with. They can spectrum up wherever they want to.
Emil there, great teammate, body blocking the Graviton Surge, making sure no one else is going to get caught in that. Spectral going to be set up on the high ground now, going to be very difficult to approach him. Potentially Eternal Academy can go through the high ground here, try and give themselves a straight line towards him, but they still be moving there with no cover.
Nope, Chow's dead already. Launches the self-destruction though, catches Lulsish, not too bad. Spectral gets hacked in the meantime as well, as that shield isn't really going to do a whole lot. They're going to have to wait for Lulsish to come back, and he does have Supercharger as well. Angry Titans still brawling out on the point as Kenzie ends up falling. No one is checking Spectral right now, and if they do, they get a face full of rockets too.
And now going to be raining down those rockets. Zeal may look for a hack here onto the Wayward Pharah. Is in fact going to hack the Mercy instead.
Yeah, she can't actually get up back into the air, but it doesn't seem to matter. Hercules finding an extra kill, made that 2 as Zufluke ends up going down as well. He's still got the healing from Fat, who ends up going down just at the last few seconds, but with Lulsish coming back, he's now got even more cover. Supercharger goes down in the big health pack room, and EMP goes out. That's 4 people locked up. Kenzie and Chow are going to clean up the rest. No use for you anymore, Spectral, unfortunately. A Tracer, pretty vulnerable when she gets hacked.
Great play there. Managing to find 4 people with hack in such a small room just shows how concentrated Angry Titans were in that moment. Lulsish, of course, going to swap back over now onto the Reinhardt, unless they want to truly try and ape NYXL in their less than successful Orisa Goats composition, which didn't serve them very well on
it's not
Ilios.
Great.
Nah, it's not great at all.
Not great.
The charging Centaur, not really as powerful as Mythology would have you expect. Eternal Academy now going to be setting themselves up on the high point. This is something that you can expect to be powerful already. Superpluke going to be dropping down, building a lot of charge towards that Earth Shatter.
Oh, Emil actually gets booped out there. I think he actually got stunned, which causes him to actually demech. He's still protecting, though, on the brig. They do manage to find one, but now Eternal Academy have got ults to play with. They've been able to build up these over the last couple of fights. Graviton Surge gets launched straight onto Lulsish's shield. He instantly gets taken out by Tri-Spear. And that cart continuing to stay in the same position. Zhao's going to use that self-destruct. You can see Emil there actually walk towards the self-destruct. Like, please take me. I need to die.
I'd actually call that a low-value Graviton Surge there from Kenzie. Lulsish, he'd already lost his Diva, and his shield was getting incredibly low. I feel like you definitely could have got a lot more value out of that Graviton Surge, potentially in the next fight. I'll have to see if it comes back to bite them, as Spectral almost has his Graviton Surge ready to go. But Aafox and Fat, they're going to have to try and find a way to support his team through these ultimates. Ascoffs and Tri-Spear as well do have both of theirs available, which will allow them to sustain and persevere through the potential damage that can be thrown into the Graviton Surge. We'll have to see if Superpluke goes for an aggressive drop down again, or if he'll mix up the tempo. Will once again be a big aggressive drop down.
Grab gets thrown in. That's a one-man grab as Zeal ends up going down. Transcendence a little bit late, but they might be able to use this as a leverage to push forward. In fact, not so much anymore. They're definitely holding S at this point. That beat's going to come through for 18, landing on 6 people. And now Eternal Academy marching forward with a beat of their own. Transcendence, however, to match. Graviton Surge thrown in by Eternal Academy, as well as that shatter from Lulsish to make sure no one can touch that grab. Chow's extremely low in the back line, and Superpluke is so low. He has to back off, trying to buy some more space and time for his supports to heal everybody up. Berkey making his way to the back line, ends Chow's life rather swiftly. OT is going to set in place and come into play in a couple of seconds, but AT going to be able to clean up and deliver the payload onto second.
Even with the time back drain, it will be the completion here for Angry Titans of second. They will get 1 minute and 30 in their time bank for the third and final point, but this is an incredibly difficult point to attack here, Jaws. Going to have to do it rather quickly and almost perfectly if they want to complete here with only 1 minute and 20 seconds on the clock. They will go into overtime before they hit the end, no doubt. That's just how slow the cart can be. Spectral going to be looking to generate that second grab already. He's aggressed upon. Eternal Academy are here.
Right up in the air. Got to be careful. But look at that. The pincer maneuver from Emil as well. Catching out Zeal once more. It's been kind of a trend in the last couple of maps where Zeal goes down first. Bit of overextension from the break does end a life. Tri-Spear is also going to go down. Eternal Academy are bleeding at this point. They need to back off, reset, make sure they can go again, at least get a couple of fights out of this bend. Of course, there's only a couple of fights left in AT at this point, with only 40 seconds remaining. Communication
breaking down there for Eternal Academy. Kenzie went one way, Tri-Spear went the other, and it seemed like Superpluke wanted to protect Zaya more than he wanted to protect that Zenyatta, so Tri-Spear was easy prey for an Urki with both of his cooldowns available. Lulsish doesn't want to give up the high ground just yet. This is too commanding a position for the Crusader to stand upon, but he is knocked off. Now his hand has been forced. With 21 seconds remaining, he needs to get on that cart. He needs to generate the Earth Shatter Jaws, but he's going to be going man-to-man with Superbluke.
They're playing rather scared. They want to push this payload and make sure they can just wipe everything instantly. That's the big play that LoWCish is looking for. Just weave his shadow array around Superbluke's shield. A Graviton Surge gets launched in, but that shadow from Superbluke lands 5. Chow's Meg gets launched in and finds 1. Spectral is dead as the Graviton Surge is thrown in as well on top of the grab from AT. They are safe for the time being, but they haven't got Xayah left. Kenzie is more than free now to right-click into these shields. There's nothing to stop the bleeding of AT. LoWCish now falling. Urki's going to go as well. They're going to be able to touch the last couple of moments, but this is the fight that Eternal Academy wanted. Fat falling last. Overtime's going to tick through. Eternal Academy halt Angry Titans just before third.
Eternal Academy there, they just overwhelmed LoWCish so much. I saw him spinning in place of that shield. He identifies as an attack helicopter, but Eternal Academy got some significant anti-air capabilities in their hands. And now they have a significant win condition to try and achieve here on Junkertown. 2 points need to be completed, and then they need to get 85.58 meters in order to claim themselves a clean series win here over the currently undefeated Angry Titans, who sit at 4-0, could go to 4-1 if we see that completion from Eternal Academy, who will put themselves up into a far more gracious position of 2 wins and 3 losses, trying to keep themselves away from that relegation zone.
Do I smell new hero?
I also smell new hero.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
She's got a mace though, so is it
second base hero?
Second mace hero, mace to the face from both sides.
But maybe a DPS. That's like melee, like Doomfist kind of.
Mace DPS.
Actually, I don't really want to get beaten up by like I am by Doomfist. I'm not gonna lie. Doomfist, when you're playing in a mobile support, is not the nicest thing in the world.
Oh, but he is fun to watch.
He is fun to play as well. Like Doomfist is honestly one of the most satisfying heroes to play in the game. Just everything about the kit just feels so fluid. It's great.
It flows so well.
Speaking of flowing, something about Angry Titans comp.
The heals and the damage boost will flow quite readily to Spectral. Don't worry, I've got you, Jaws. I've got you. We've got some segues ready to go right here. Could actually damage boost Urki right here in case someone goes out into his trap right at the beginning. Will deal some increased damage. Will anyone be caught at the moment? Does not look like that's going to be the case. Eternal Academy going to spy what is being proffered here by Angry Titans and will swap up themselves. Going to have the Moira, the Sombra. Going to be triple tank, 2 supports, and a single Sombra right here. Not the usual item of what we see, but could be effective. Spectral, though. Zeal's got to be very careful about where he places himself right now. Spectral can try and hunt him down with the SMG capabilities of a Widow's Kiss.
Also the mine as well. If you do manage to trigger that as Sombra, even if you are in stealth, like it reveals you instantly. A little bit of tick damage too. Forces the recall. He's being rather cautious, like you said.
He's unnerved at the moment.
Yeah. He's right at the back, in fact. Let's find a nice little headshot.
We'll get him some additional ultimate charge, and that infrasight can be so important when you're trying to locate a wayward Sombra. Chow's going to lose his mech, instantly executed by Urki with the damage boost.
Hook, line, and sinker onto his mech. They're going to go through the dive anyway. They are going to commit to this. Nice hook again. Beautiful headshot. Yeah, there's no way surviving that. Actually gets killed by the trap itself. LoWCish just going to get dove, though. They just left her in the front line. Even that halt isn't going to do all too much. However, the resurrection coming through from Fat to make sure he can stay in the fight.
Kind of sad not to see Urki on his signature Big Pig. Roadhog main himself not being able to play it this time. It's going to be Meal taking up that duty. He's doing a good job so far. Interrupting Superbluke's dives once again. It's going to be the
commitment to try and kill Spectral. He's going to activate the sights as well. Chow now chasing Spectral away, and they managed to find the dive onto AFox, but AFox returning the damage and actually killing Zeal off. Chow's going to get hooked straight off the edge of the map, and Urki sends out the tire. So Angry Titans still in firm control of this point, and the payload hasn't moved all too much, in all honesty. They're not being able to get around here. However, the ult's coming online for Eternal Academy. These short, quick, and clean fights aren't very good for a Sombra or a Xayah to build up the role quickly. The
ults are coming through, but look at that time bank, Jaws. They've had about 1 minute and 50 seconds to make it work. Superbluke's just died instantly on every engage. Zeal on the back hasn't been able to do too much poke. For now, he's going to scout out, tell everyone where the members of Angry Titans are, where to direct their attentions, where to direct their dives. There's the hack onto Fat. The Valkyrie's not available.
Instantly engaging, but look at this. Emil using that whole hog defensively. No damage can really come onto Fat now. Superbluke also gets obliterated.
He's as soon as he jumped in.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, he provides so much space in the back line. Fat gets hacked.
Damage boosted whole hog.
He can't get away. Well, yeah, that too, yeah. Also does a whole lot of damage.
Spectral almost has that infrasight as well. I mean, he can reveal Zeal as Zeal tries to go for a sneaky EMP. You can see him in the back right now. Look, Avox is hiding in the back, ready to go for the Transcendence.
They managed to actually get Chow's mech as well to start off the fight. So now, do Eternal Academy go for the reset? Like you just said, they got the sights. They know where Zeal is now. That big flashing detected on your screen does mean he is going to get seen by the rest of Angry Titans.
It's not a good time
One
to be
engagement
Zeal.
now stands in their way of actually getting this payload moving again.
Kenzie can try, of course, for the Miracle with the Graviton Surge. Fat may try to mitigate it with the Valkyrie, but doesn't have as much raw healing output as other support ultimates would do so. Spectral's now lost the infrasights. It's a desperation attempt with that. He's got to grapple back up. Not again, Spectral!
Please. Emil's going to be able to at least keep himself on the payload. Spectral manages to get up onto high ground once more, don't worry. Supercharger's also going to get sent out. They use the EMP, they use the grab. Super Blue's got his first primal online. Kenzie now, desperation Widowmaker, has to at least find a pick. They found one kill, but AT just rezzed it.
For those who didn't see last time, Spectral actually began a Junkertown by falling off the map off the side. Not going to be this time. He's actually going to grapple his way back up. Urki can sink this next push, Shores. He has the Riptire ready to go. That can instantly pick away a member. Kenzie will be able to reveal that and take it out with quite extensive damage though.
Zeal almost going down. A beat's going to come through from Eternal Academy. 4 people have been infected with it, but can the tie get anything? Askoft is going to go down. Chow was already dead for a headshot of Spectral. Now Tri-Spear's the only one actually contesting the point. The fight just might end here. Urki is dead. Tri-Spear's at like 1 HP, but Kenzie is getting back in. He's found 2 picks, but an instant resurrection onto Urki brings another member back into the fight. Kenzie is also dead. A Transcendence from Avox to keep everybody alive. No hacks are going to really do anything now. Urki just popping off on the junk. Emil's going to find the kill on Super Bluke as well. AT are going to bring this game to a map 5. Eternal Academy were grasping at straws at the end. The grab hit 2, the EMP hit 1. Like it just wasn't enough in order to secure that map.
And if you want to look at why that attack failed, I can show you just one cutout of that kill feed. And that was Urki, or rather Emil, taking down Super Bluke. There were 4 assists there. He got hit with the Halt. He got hit with the Discord Orb. There was a damage boost on the Roadhog, and he also got pulled into a Junkrat trap as well. 4 assists. All 5 members that were alive, because Spectral was dead, were included in that kill, somehow making absolute hell of a life for Super Bluke on that Winston.
Still, match point now for both teams as we go into our last map. It will be Oasis as our...
No, it won't.
Nepal will be our tiebreaker map. We'll be right back after this small break. Hey guys, welcome back. Nepal on your screens very soon. AT looking for a complete reverse sweep against 1 point, and a little bit of revenge as well for Lolsis if he manages to take this series against SuperBluke.
Yeah, they did meet in Paris at the World Cup stop right there for our Contenders 2018 Season 2 Grand Finals, where Eagle Gaming and SuperBluke were triumphant over Lolsish and Co. And I talked about coaching when it came to what you need to make a reverse sweep happen, Jordan. Back then, the coach was packing 10. Now, the interim head coach of LA Valiant, and now it's down to Optidox to lead the Angry Titans. And it looks like in the halftime, he whispered some special words, some incantation of power into the ears of Angry Titans, revived them from their slain position, and now they will have one last chance at life and to claim that 5-0 series headline as we move into Nepal.
Do Village our first map as well?
This is where we may see Kenzie come out with a Mei. Mei is very typical of Kenzie across any of his teams, one of his premier heroes. And of course, on Village, you can lock down a point of ingress so easily with that wall. Will span across the entire entrance point and can lock off any over-aggressive Zayas or Reinhardts who feel that they can break away from a 3-3 death ball.
Yeah. Eternal Academy, I can imagine they were imparted some wisdom about how to play the Mei and the 3-3, of course. Both from Kenzie and Chow. It wouldn't surprise me at all, to be honest. I mean, Angry Titans have also run the Mei on this map, as you can see. Spectral is hovering it, so it'll be a Mei on Mei map, which is something we haven't actually seen in a long time, to be fair. Even back in Season 3, it was very much most teams only running static 3-3 unless it was something really, really random, like HSL running Bunker Comp with one healer Zen on the Horizon Luna Conley.
Yeah, and Hedan just kills 4 people.
Yeah, he just clicks heads, man. Spectral's going to do that, and hopefully Kenzie as well. Icicles do a whole lot of damage, plus, like you said, isolating the main tank is going to be the primary goal with the main walls.
And to see who will be able to get those isolations first. Will it be Kenzie or Spectral who draw the trigger? Straight away, the Angry Titans have claimed the point. This is a great position for them to be in as the team who are, of course, showing the Mei. Mei is much better on the defense than on the offense because it forces the enemy to come into you. There it is, the isolation potentially.
Oh, God, the Spectral trapped between 2 walls. Has to go into the block to save himself. Already, though, you could see Lolsish was swinging away. Didn't notice he was half frozen. And then Chow was able to just finish him off with a right click. Kenzie knows how long it takes to free somebody, plus that Mei beam doesn't penetrate multiple people now, so that does mean you can freeze a couple of targets very quickly.
And even before their frozen draws, they are slowed as well, which means it's very hard to disengage from a Mei. It seems there that Spectral's wall didn't quite cut off the entirety of Eternal Academy. It seems like they could circumvent it around to the right to continue getting people through into the point, whereas there was a far more effective bisection of the Angry Titans, who now have to move in once again towards the defensive Mei. I talked about how valuable it can be. You can see that Kenzie already posturing, try and find that wall. He can actually cut off Lolsish on this side.
Yeah, that's exactly what they wanted to do. And everybody had to navigate in that small corridor. Another wall just come about, though, from Spectral, trying to find an inch of something in this fight. They trade Zeal for their main tank, not the biggest trade in the world. A big pin on Urki as he was using Rally, so that ult is not going to be available. The residual armor is going to fade fairly fast as well if he did manage to get any of it off. Spectral falls, and Eternal Academy still holding this point and have ults to work with now, Harry. Look at Angry Titans' ult bank. Kind of starved.
Yeah, kind of starved indeed. Urki and Zeal both invested for rallies there, but of course Eternal Academy going to be the one standing steadfast, so expecting far more value from that. Kenzie looks like he may actually try and go for a more aggressive play here with an early wall, break up the tempo, see if Angry Titans are expecting it. There it is, but all 6 are over.
Wow, that was absolutely perfect. Transcendence forced to be used, but Chow now can lay down the Graviton Surge if he needs it. Spectral goes low, so does Fat, but they managed to stay alive behind the shield of Lolsish.
Available.
Urki managed to find 1 kill. A nice snipe from Spectral actually finds Tri-Spear. Not sure if Eternal Academy want to engage with additional ultimates here, knowing that they could have potentially lost this fight already. Urki gets pinned against the wall, but a Graviton Surge is still going to come out. Another one too is both beats also come about as there's no shields to protect Kenzie or Chow, who's locked in the Graviton Surge, not from Spectral anyway, who's earned himself a Blizzard. Angry Titans reclaimed the point, but it's only 1 fight away for Eternal Academy potentially now.
Neither Mei deciding to use their Blizzard right there. Of course, Spectral knew that his team had already basically won that fight. Kenzie, however, maybe if he wanted to try and clutch that back, he was actually frozen up by Spectral using that cryo beam, the left click of the Mei to ensure that he was CC'd and couldn't put down that Blizzard in a time when everyone would be able to disengage from it. Spectral now not wanting to fight for high ground. Once again, this is a bad sign. Eternal Academy now in the driver's seat, can try to use that Blizzard to force everyone off the point. Spectral can do the same thing defensively. Hitting that headshot was important. Kenzie put on notice. There's the wall.
Instantly comes in. Blizzard's going to get thrown out as well. Those shields are only going to save you for so long. Lolsish, look at that. Kenzie getting right up and personal with him. Transcendence from Tri-Spear to make sure they win the fight, because the rest of Angry Titans are cleaned up. Chow and Kenzie getting the sales on the board. Team kill is going to be there. 80% now for Eternal Academy. Angry Titans have got one more fight. They've only got 1 out. Or in fact 2 as AFox gets his trance online.
I don't know what happened to Spectral's Blizzard right there. I don't know, whatever. Tri-Spear managed to heal everyone up with Transcendence at least, so they were able to survive through the attentions to their frozen teammates. 5% though could actually try and lock them away from point.
Kenzie instantly goes into Ice Block. A Transcendence now for Angry Titans to make themselves on the point. That is a good pick for Urki right now. AT now getting some more capture percentage. They managed to find the cap. Both Mays have now been traded. Superluke setting himself up for a shatter, but sneaky Losish poked his head round the corner, insta-shattered. Superluke is now in a whole world of hurt. He ends up going down as Angry Titans managed to instantly find the flip on Eternal Academy.
But there are so many tools available, Jaws, for Eternal Academy as we move in towards our final fight. No matter who wins, it does look like they are going to be taking Nepal Village in this, our tiebreaker map. 2-2, 0-0 currently, and it will be 99-99. Chow ready with the Graviton Surge. Emil is going to be in the same position. We usually see him play on the D.Va. Today he's going to be on the Zarya, of course, because Spectral is filling the role of the May. It's going to be a rush onto point here from Eternal Academy. Needs to trigger overtime, maybe bisecting.
Look at all that damage instantly. Losish swung in. A Graviton Surge is good, but Losish and Emil right clicking and left click. There was nothing left. Eternal Academy got instantly killed as that grab came out from Emil. They're going to take Village, and now their sights are set on the reverse sweep against Eternal Academy. This could be it. It's going to be Sanctum, or it could be Shrine as our next map.
There were 6 people there, and then there was no people there. I think Askoft actually got killed as he was casting the sound barrier, just swung out of the air like a swatted fly by Losish with that hammer blow. Absolutely breaking down Eternal Academy, using their own composition against them. We'll have to see if anyone wants to stick with the May here. Kenzie swapped over onto that Zarya, the classic 3-3. Spectral, he's hovering. He is going to pick the Zarya. Going to be classic 3-3 versus classic 3-3. Eternal Academy just seem to be working out on this composition quite well in our first 2 maps for Angry Titans with some inventive compositions. Brought it back on our last 2. We'll have to see if they can return to this 3-3 very effectively as we move here onto the Shrine.
So it all could come down to this. It's just 3-3 versus 3-3. Mano a mano. Spectral going low already, but instantly taking out Zeal. This really has been a trend of Eternal Academy. They're just finding Zeal, just overextending a little bit and he just ends up falling. Spectral, more often than not, dealing that killing blow as well. Knows he can right-click around the shield. A nice boop kill from Fat. You can see how much charge he's on already. 50% of that sound barrier. Urki's going to have that rally for this first fight. Eternal Academy lose control of the point. However, AT, there's still a lot of time left. They just have to make sure Spectral doesn't get his hands on it.
Spectral looking to use some tech here to get up onto high ground. Superluke will bring himself and the rest of his team here safely to the edge of a point. Question is, where do they want to play here? They can play around the central high. It'll give Superluke a chance to rest his shield, but Angry Titans will give him a chance.
I mean, you got him up so quickly, you might as well use it, eh? Tri-Spear's going to go down already. Angry Titans are going to get locked in a small room, but really, after the kill onto Tri-Spear, they can just move through the rest of the fight. Big stagger now onto Chow, like you just said. Yeah, he's not going to get anywhere, really. AFox finishes him off.
Thought they could crush him under a hammer. AFox going to be claiming that ult percentage for himself. Angry Titans going to be sitting pretty right here with the amount of ultimates they have available. But Eternal Academy, they're getting very close as well. Almost 6 available for their team. Urki, of course, used for a rally in that last fight to push everyone forward. Look at where Spectral is. He's currently scouting out, using those mortars to deal a little bit of premature damage to Eternal Academy, who are now seeing tick marks across the board. Looks like a mark in an essay because there is ticks and ticks and ticks available. This next is one going to get incredibly fast.
Graviton Surge onto the small Shrine. Nice Transcendence going out for already. Zeal is going to fall and Emil eats the grab. 2 big win cons now down for Eternal Academy. Angry Titans expending only 2 ultimates in that fight. Eternal Academy are going to back off, but look, 75%, Harry, and they're not done. AT are just going to run to Eternal Academy's backline. A beat is going to save them for the time being, but AFox uses that Transcendence to make sure they don't lose the tempo play.
It's a brazen counter-attack, Jaws, but now Eternal Academy need to act. They are 10% away from losing this series.
They find one and they find another. Urki's going to fall as Superluke gets a little bit of revenge. Losish eventually ends up going down. But it is now at Angry Titans with 1 fight to win to find the reverse sweep.
Well, for the Academy, it's exam time, Jaws. It means absolute perfection is demanded if they want to stay in this series. If Angry Titans can win one fight, they will claim that 5-0 scoreline. But Academy, they've been studying hard. They know what they're up against. They have just a few ultimates to play with here. Almost 4 if Kenzie and Tri-Spear can hit a couple of projectiles before engaging here. They can get that combination to work, and Angry Titans, they have all the time in the world. An eat and grab is a great start.
Perfect start to the fight. Chow eating the grab. Another win con now disappearing from AT. No grabs are landing today. There's a shadow available for Super Pluke, but he's backing off. Look at the pressure Emil's exerting. Nice chatter on the back line, but an instant use of the sound barrier in order to save them. Super Pluke at least finds the pin kill onto Fat. Lolsish is also going to fall. Eternal Academy is still holding on to this game, but they need perfect ult management going into the next fight. Spectral's now almost earned himself a second grab. He's only 20% away. Kenzie is miles.
He is so far away, Jaws, but Eternal Academy are drawing ever closer to that 99 and 100% mark, which is so important if they want to take us to the Sanctum on their pool, where they'll have to claim that victory. If not, Angry Titans will achieve their reverse sweep. Gonna have a couple of tools. They've got the Graviton almost, they've got the Transcendence, but Eternal Academy will stand ready with a self-destruct to blow apart any hopes and dreams that Angry Titans may have of claiming it at this juncture.
Chow needs to eat this grab. Spectral lands this, it could be all over. They've also got a Transcendence to ride back on as well. Grab gets thrown out, one person's caught in, Tri-Spear's dead. A self-destruct from Trow to try and disrupt the back line, but it's not enough to do anything. A-Fox using the Transcendence as well to push the rest of Eternal Academy off of the point.
Seal has for rally, but so does Zerky. There's a slam, but no one hit.
Straight into the shield, and now a beat is going to come forth as well. A pin from Super Pluke ends A-Fox's life. A self-destruct up into the point ends the life of Chow's mech as Erky finds the kill onto Super Pluke. The point is going to flip over in a matter of seconds as Kenzie ends up going down as well. AT, they might have just done it. Tri-Spear is also going to fall, and the staggering members of Eternal Academy trying to touch the point. They've done it. AT continue their dominance in EU. Continue to be undefeated as they find the reverse sweep against Eternal Academy. Angry
Titans, they're just enacting a Rocky film. They get the right hooks here and there. They get knocked down half-time. They're panting. We're like, Coach Opti, what do I do? It's too much. They're bullying Lolsish. It's like, Lolsish, you got to find your center.
Stand up straight.
Take a breath.
Don't shrug your shoulders. And then just swing away. And that's exactly what they did. It was perfect. That was almost perfect play from Chow as well. He ate 2 incoming Graviton surges. It was just that final one that really did sink the ship of Eternal Academy. But my goodness, that was so close to the very end as well. Lolsish and Super Luke had such perfect positions. Both shatters went into each other's shields, and it was really all over from there. As soon as that comes out, the Reinhardt's stuck in that animation, and the rest of AT were able to capitalize on it, just run him down.
Yeah, and you got to remember here that Eternal Academy may well have lost this series and now sit at 1-4, but they have gone to 3-2 with both of our lossless teams, both British Hurricane and Angry Titans, currently sitting at 4-0 and 5-0 respectively, both been tested to their absolute limits by Eternal Academy, who appear to be getting far better and better as time goes on.
A couple of highlights from the game, and I've got to say, Eternal Academy, we said it last week when they had that incredibly close game against British Hurricane. This week and the last has really been their turnaround. They can still make it to the playoffs. Remember, it's only the last 2 teams, and they're still inching ahead of Shoes Money Crew. But that, again, it all depends on tomorrow now. It's all up to Shoes Money Crew. If they claim the series, then Eternal Academy have to be worried.
Yeah, Shoes Money Crew definitely have to try and, right now, beat out the rivals for our Eternal Academy. Shoes Money Crew definitely probably going to do better than Young and Beautiful, who are currently yet to claim a map. They've got themselves a win, but they've got themselves a draw, but no wins yet. But coming back to the match at hand, it's been quite a great sort of like an example here of the formidable compositions we can see come out of Angry Titans, how they thrived across so many metas, how they've always been these great contenders, either getting to the semi-finals or the playoffs of every single series of contenders that we've had, every single season, because they can bring out so many different looks.
Yeah, regardless of who actually joins or leaves the team, of course. We have a Luddy go over to Gladiators Academy. I mean, it doesn't really matter, it seems.
To Envy.
Exactly, it doesn't really matter at all. Like, they're still the same old Angry Titans, regardless of who's on the roster. Lolsish Gets a little bit of revenge on Super Fluke, which is all very sweet. They're still undefeated in the lineup as well. It looks like they're going to carry on going so if no one else can take them down at this very moment. I mean, they do honestly look unstoppable. AT, they've always been the bridesmaid, never the bride. And they've come second now in 2 finals against Giganti and Eagle Gaming, sorry, back in Season 2. Maybe this is their season. They take the W.
Yeah, potentially it is. This could be the time for Angry Titans. And, well, why not? Losish has been vying for it for an incredibly long time.
I think so. I think we've got an interview lined up, in fact. So let's get that on the screens right now. There you go, Losish. This is who I wanted to talk to.
Hello.
How does it feel winning the series? I mean, you're now undefeated still in the standings. It must be feeling pretty good, considering you had a little bit of a roster shuffle at the start of the season.
Yeah, like the expectations going into this season with the new players wasn't like we didn't expect to go 6-0 or 5-0. I mean, right now. But yeah, super happy with how we're performing right now.
What happened at halftime? Because obviously you guys went down 2-0 in a scoreline that very few of us expected. Was there like some kind of talk you had with Coach Opti, or did you just have a mental reset in the team house?
Yeah, the first 2 maps we knew they were really like high on pressuring the Rhine. And like even if we prepared for it, I was really pressured out, and we tried to adapt and not play our game, so to say. And after halftime, we just said like we don't even try to go past. We just, if they are aggressive, we go even more aggressive. So we just amped up the speed, so to say.
Yeah, that really did seem evident in all honesty. Like there were a lot of times where you just kind of ran at Super Fluke and was like, oh, okay, so your shield's down. That's pretty much good as dead. Like there's no way you can come back from this. How are you feeling going into the next couple of weeks, though? It's pretty daunting being the team that everybody really wants to beat. Playoffs is pretty much locked in for you at this point.
Yeah, we just take game after game. We just prepare for the next team we play, and we'll see. Maybe we go 7-0. Who knows?
New patch as well, obviously next next time that's pretty exciting, I think, for a lot of people. How much really preparation are you going to be able to get in? I mean, it's so soon, it seems. It's on live right now, so you can get that kind of practice in. Is there going to be any development, do you think, in the compositions that people are going to run, or do you think it's going to be more just as practice as you've done for the last season, just with the 3-3?
We'll see. Like in ranked, it's just, you know, people just playing deathmatch, and it's just, you don't really know what the meta is going to be.
Yeah,
like,
come on, guys. Ranked deathmatch is actually out now.
So we'll see when we start scrimming the new patch. You know, teams just going to counter comp all the time until we get the meta comp. So we'll see. Maybe it goes still a meta and developers get shit. So we'll see.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. Thank you very much, man. Enjoy your little bit of time off, and good luck in your games later on.
Yeah, see ya.
Perfect. So yeah, exciting playoffs in sight for AT, and like you said, it's a bit scary going into a new patch, that's for sure. But they can hold their heads high, and like you mentioned a little bit earlier on, like no matter the meta, no matter the team, it's still AT at their core, and they're just fantastic set of players with a lot of backing behind them.
And when we speak about AT as a core, something Losish said really stuck out to me, and that's just playing their game. When we saw them fall 3-1 to Shoes Money Crew in Season 3 of 2018, which was a shock to all of us, they said that they didn't play their game until they sort of figured out what they